First Eroge title of the year, people. Time to shock, amaze, and maybe appall. So what are we talking about today? Okay, log into the database, open up a few folders, bullshit segue into game reveal, and hentai Angry Birds. Well, shock and appall, 2 out of 3 ain't half bad, so let's see how this game goes. Today, the spotlight is going to be on Tobihime InterBreed by Circle Dystopia Story. So yeah, hentai Angry Birds. That works as a general assessment, but honestly, there is a bit more to it that makes this game actually quite enjoyable. So first things first, let's do a quick summary of the plot. Okay, funny story. I have known about this game all the way since back in 2017, but I refused to cover it because this game was in Japanese only. So come 2018, I suddenly learned that the game got an English version, and next thing I knew, I had already purchased the game. Only to find out that it was still in Moon Runes. Turns out the game hadn't actually been officially translated, but instead someone had taken it upon themselves to fan translate the title. And I'm gonna be frank, it's slightly above Google Translate levels of quality. So summary wise, I might have gotten some things wrong. Anyways, you start out with the main character, Princess Zerodomai, I think, in a bit of a bind after being betrayed by her allies for trying to take over the world. Leaving her to be executed by a slime monster, the princess quickly learns that the monster has other plans, and after an encounter of the closest kind, the monster disappears, leaving her alone, but not really, as she quickly realizes that she is now +1 slime girl. Escaping with her newly obtained ally, she has the brilliant idea of taking over the world yet again, but this time with an army of monster girls of her own creation, and I mean that quite literally. A pretty lol-worthy title, and many of the non-monster based allies you get are completely unfazed of the idea of literally birthing their own army, or at least that's how it looks because, you know, translation quality. But that's the setup, so how's the Angry Birds, gameplay? Yeah, I've never actually seen the appeal of Angry Birds, but playing this game, I kinda understand the enjoyment behind it. It's simple, you get into the puzzle, it's laid out right in front of you, and it doesn't even take that long to finish. With that said, this game does add some complexity to it. Just simply flinging out units isn't how you win this game. Instead, you need to command your units to attack while they're in the air. This makes the core gameplay pretty damn fun, because now you not only need to think about the angle and strength of the launch, but also when to command your unit to strike, which is different for every unit type as they all have different kinds of attacks. Your basic slime girl simply rams herself into the enemies, so you can use her just like any generic Angry Birds unit. But other units like Harpies stop their momentum and fire a wave of arrows, so they require more tactical thought. And these units don't go down after a single hit. Instead, the game has concepts like health bars, critical hits, and even dodge rates to think about. So after you throw out a unit, any unit that already is on the map will take their turns doing their attacks again automatically, moving them slightly depending on the unit, and then the enemy units will do the same just like in any RPG. This back and forth continues until either you kill all the targeted units in a part of a stage, or you run out of units to throw. I'm actually really surprised at how fun this kind of setup is, and even more surprised that I haven't seen another game try something like this. And I mean that in a safe for work, regular game sense. Clearly, Angry Birds RPG mechanics and waifus go together like peanut butter and jelly, and waifus. Now to get said waifus, and yes, this is where the H content comes in, you need to find a map with monsters that have floating hearts above them, and simply throw a compatible girl at them. Yeah, easy as that. They go into a animation, which is just as high quality as the character sprites themselves are. I don't know if I mentioned how nice these are, and they all do have both outfit sprites and birthday suit sprites, but back on topic. They go into an animation, and as long as the stage doesn't end on the next turn, congratulations, you have knocked up one of your units. They are now unusable for the rest of the stage. But don't worry, your new unit will be fully grown and available to throw by the next map. It's a pretty basic breeding system despite having unique combinations and elemental type advantages to think about, but I think it works nicely for such a small game. I'm having a ton of fun with the title, not only with the base gameplay but also collecting all the units and their elemental variants, with some stages actually being constructed in a way that really encouraged me to go back and hunt down those specific combinations of race and element to clear it. The stages themselves even include some unique elements like walls that need to be destroyed, typhoons that alter the trajectory of your launches, and destructible terrain that can be used against the enemy, or in some cases against you. Even the physics can be fun to watch, with units sliding around and loose rocks and boxes being pushed around, and even though the physics do kinda look like they're bugging out 99% of the time, the stages stay consistent and playable, though there were a small handful of times that things just completely went off the rails, but a simple stage restart fixes that right up. So far, keep in mind that this is a spotlight, which means I'm making this judgment without completing the game. It's great. It has a couple of CGs to collect on top of the in-game H content, has a good bit of stages, and even higher difficulty versions of every stage, though I didn't bother with them because of the level requirement. So if you're interested in this sort of Angry Birds RPG eroge hybrid, I'd say check it out. It's got a price tag of 1,728 yen, or $15.80 in USD in the moment, and I think that's pretty damn good. Just keep in mind that this game is fan translated, so you will need the patch provided in the link below to turn into English. I'm probably going to do a review video after I beat this game, but due to how much H content is interweaved throughout the game, I don't know if it will be making it to YouTube, but don't worry, that just means whenever I do put it out on the internet, it will most likely be completely uncensored. So leave your thoughts on the game below, maybe check out my Patreon or Twitch page, or if you don't feel like leaving YouTube, you know you can always do the like and subscribe stuff. Either way, I'll see you guys next time. Peace!